Okay, I don't know. Look at my outfit. Can you move? I'm scared to talk. Cause like, what is this, a fucking vlog? Yes, it is. But it's like the house is so quiet. The house is so quiet. And I'm scared to speak. Cause what if everyone hears me? Can I review the book, Benjamin Button? It's not a book, it's like 10 pages. Can I review the short story, Benjamin Button? I feel like it's really boring. Like the entire start of that book is so fucking boring. What the fuck? It's like not even Fitzgerald writing it, because it's like he's really good at writing. He's like just like describing a moment, describing a scene. The evening. He can describe an evening. That's literally the only thing I remember from The Great Gatsby is whenever he's like talking about the air, because it's so gorgeous. Whenever it's like his best thing. Whenever I think of F. Scott Fitzgerald, I think about how he describes the air in the room, because he's so good at it. But Benjamin Button, there's a lot of dialogue, and especially at the start, he's talking about Benjamin's dad, Mr. Button, or whatever his name was, and it's so boring. And it's like halfway through, he describes an evening. Finally, he describes them driving through the countryside to go to this countryside party, which I have to talk about actually, because I have a lot. It's crazy. I don't remember any. I don't remember any racism in The Great Gatsby. I remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. Maybe black people were brought up. I don't think it was in like a derogatory way. Not that he was even writing about them derogatorily in Benjamin Button, but so okay. There's like it like blew my like I don't know. I don't know why I'm shocked. Were Jewish? The book made me think that Jewish people weren't allowed to go to school in America in the 1890s, which has to be nonsense, right? It has to be nonsense because Benjamin Button, he tried to apply to Yale, but of course he's old looking. Of course he's old looking. And so they're like, what are you doing trying to pass yourself off as an 18-year-old, which is actually miraculous because he got in. He got in at the small age of 18. And everyone's like, it's like, who do you think you are trying to pass yourself off as an 18-year-old and you're fucking ancient? So he gets kicked out, he leaves, he goes to Yale or whatever. But on his way out, everyone follows him because it's like they want to look at the crazy guy, and people in the crowd assume he's Jewish because he's crazy. This must be they say crazy Jew. They say that must be the crazy Jew that tried to apply. I've been thinking about that because why will where does that come from? Where does that come from? Oh, that must be he must be Jewish, of course. Of course, if he's fucking crazy and old. And then they go to a fucking, okay. There's a scene with all these white people, okay, out in the fucking country, having a fucking country barn party. A fucking barn party in the country. Which it's like, okay, fun. Just a bunch of fucking white Protestants having a barn party. Hillbilly barn party. Of course it's like a fucking ball because it's the fucking 1880s and every white person, every Protestant is rich. Every white person has like a lot of money and they have to be proper, of course. So it's like a ball. It's like, I don't know if it's like a coming out ball if anyone's like, but there's a girl there. And of course she's into Benjamin because he looks 50 and he sees no problem with dating her. And I think in the story she's 20 actually. I thought she had to be 16 whenever they first meet, I was like, she's described as young. So I thought it was going to be like she's 13 and he looks 50. But she's 20, I think. Maybe I read it wrong, but I think they say she's 20. Thank God. But she's like, I'm into older men and you're 50, which is hot. And then they marry and he gets younger, of course. If you don't know the plot of Benjamin Button, he ages backwards, which it's irrelevant to what I'm talking about right now, is that even at this barn party in the middle of fucking nowhere, the only black person at the party is parking the cars. Who? Did someone invite him out there to park the cars? Is he someone's property? Like, probably, right? They're not even in the city anymore. Not only that, the only black guy there and he's parking the cars? Is that sleep? He's the only one working there. He's parking the cars. Even in the country. In the middle of nowhere. They're at a fucking dingy ass white trash barn party. And the only black guy there's parking the cars. That's crazy. Did someone invite him out there to park the cars? Hey, do you want to come to a party? You're working, of course. Of course. It's not like slavery was abolished in the 1890s, right? Because that's like Sherlock Holmes times. They had electricity. Of course, they had cars. They had cars and electricity, and this has to be after the 1880s, because there was cars. Maybe it was the 1900, maybe 1900, 1910, 1890. That's like a modern era, I guess. I'm not saying they had the same opportunities as white people in those times, but it's not a coincidence. It's not an accident that he's the only one working there. It's modern-ish, relatively speaking. And then, okay, there's the other short story from Fitzgerald. No, wait, I know I'm talking about Benjamin Button. I had to take a break from reading the book after that. Because I just can't think of a situation where one of these white people invite this black guy out to the party to park the cars. I don't know why that's like shot. I don't know why that got me. I don't know why. Because it's just, I don't know. And the Jewish comment also. Because it was like, okay, you can't say it was a different time because all times are the same in my opinion, all times are the same. It wasn't a different time. People just let it happen. People let that happen. It wasn't a different time. All times are the same, and people have always been the same. And someone, like, I'm not different from them just because I'm raised not in this era. Someone born only 200, 100 years ago, you know, it wasn't like like evolution. We're not like, we haven't evolved a step forward exactly like us in times exactly like this. The only black guy there was parking the cars. I would have accepted no black guy there. A white party full of white people. I just got a message. I'm looking at it on my fucking phone. And then, okay, so it's like a really boring book until he describes the evening before they go to this, but they're like driving to this party. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, he's actually a good writer because he's describing this wonderful evening and he's personifying the wind, the air, he's personifying the stars, the grass, the fields, the smell. It's beautiful. He's good at it. And okay, so he's like really good at that, and then his dialogue always like a sense of comedy to it. It's like his own sense of humor in all of the dialogue, because I feel like when he writes dialogue, he's trying to write every character as though they're himself, and maybe he's a funny guy. Maybe he was a funny guy. I don't really know anything about him. And then it's like that last page of the story, and for some reason I started crying. Because it's really like sweet. Of course he dies in the end. But it's like he was a burden as a kid, and he was a burden as an old person dying. And people say, when they talk about the book and when they talk about the movie, they like to say his body's aging backwards, but his mind is aging forwards. But that's not right. He was born with the mind of a crotchety old man with years of experience. And when he's a baby, his mind is a baby. When he like ages backwards to the end of his life, his body is a baby and his mind is also a baby. His mind isn't aging forward as he ages backwards. He forgets his memories because his brain gets smaller. He tried to enlist as a baby for I don't remember what war it was. He was a general and he couldn't go because he was a fucking 7-year-old. And he loved the idea of going to little baby school where they fucking glue things together all day because his mind is a baby. His brain is aging backwards with him. So stop fucking saying that his body's aging backwards but his mind is aging forwards. Oh, how weird. That's not what's happening. He's going backwards fully. His mind and his body together, and his personality. My goodness. He was smoking cigars he was smoking at 1 year old because he was an old man. That's not what 1-year-olds want to do. And I don't think it's commentary. On like Alzheimer's or whatever. I don't think it's commentary on how you're a burden when you're old. I don't think it's commentary on that. That's my opinion. I don't think it is a metaphor. Can I say the stupid person opinion and say that I don't think it's a metaphor for anything? I just think it's a really unique idea that he was trying to explore, and it has this unparalleled feeling to it. It's difficult to draw a comparison because it's this narrative. It's a take plot. What's the fucking word? It's a thing that only exists within the story, not in real life. I don't think you can draw a comparison to it. When Benjamin Button was born, his father said that he wished he was black so that this didn't happen in front of all these white people. there's a lot of race commentary. It's not commentary, it's just these people with their opinions in Benjamin Button, but in like I don't think I read Great Gatsby twice. I don't think they talk like that, right? I know it takes place after Benjamin Button, and I know it takes place after Diamond as Big as the Ritz, maybe, but I don't think they talk like that, right? Because I think I would have remembered comments like that. I think there's black people in it, right? And they describe them kind of weird, maybe? I don't remember. But when Benjamin Button was born, he was an ugly old man. Benjamin Button's father thought, I wish I was black. So that this didn't happen in front of white people. So that these white people, whose opinion means everything to me, the father talking, didn't see my son be born as an old man. Because we're white, Protestants, and there's proper way to do things. And having an old man as a son just isn't that. And everyone talks to him like he's in, like everyone, his father, his wife, his I guess that's just it, his father and his wife talk to him, and his son talk to him as though he's fully in control of aging backwards, because they're like, I know you have like a young spirit or whatever, but this is too far. Stop it. You're far too old to be acting like a kid. And if anything, I guess that's where the metaphor comes from. He's not acting proper how he should at his age. I don't know. Everyone just thinks he's a freak his whole life. Because he's never acting how he should at his age. And maybe that's the commentary Fitzgerald was going for, was like, you have to act a certain way at certain ages, right? I just think that's as deep as it might go. Is if you don't act like an old man when you're an old man, people are going to think you're a freak. I feel like, yeah, I feel like if there was a fucking metaphor, that would be it. I just think it's a story about a guy who ages backwards. I think that's as far as it goes. Maybe it was about how you can appreciate the things you did as a kid more after you've lived a long and tired life. Maybe it's about being a kid is fucking awesome, and you don't know that whenever you are a kid. And because whenever you're a kid, you have the brain of a kid and you don't have the perspective to appreciate it or enjoy it. And the next short story that he wrote, Diamond as Big as the Ritz, he kind of has that same exploration of perspective, the perspective you have in childhood, and how it kind of makes you kind of selfish because you don't know any better. That could be it. That feels like it. That feels like that's what I took from it. Maybe. I mostly took the barn party comment from it, honestly. I don't know why I'm so fucking hung up on it. Like, of course people were gonna be mistreated. Get over it. Just get over it. Fuck. No. It's kind of boring. I loved whenever he goes back. He's like, the end of his life when he's a baby, and he gets a nanny, and I just think that's really sweet. And how he describes everything just turning into colors and sounds that he doesn't understand. And then that's it. His life was over. And it's such a sweet little death where he's just a little baby in a little crib. And he's the most comfortable he's ever been because he's a fucking baby. And he's feeling the fucking sheets on his skin. And everything is just touch and sound, and he can't see anymore because things are it's just sound and colors, and it's a blur. And it's like when that's all that you can see, you're the most comfortable you've ever been, and that's how he dies, and that's just really nice. I think that's all I have to say about fucking Benjamin Button. Diamond as Big as the Ritz. Horrifying story about rich people and the corruption of youth, and also money. Two things that corrupt people and make them evil because they don't have perspective. That's what that's about. That's what that's a metaphor for, I guess, a story for. That's the fucking, youth and money make you bad. They lied to their slaves that slavery was still happening. They said, nope, whenever they said slavery was abolished, they were wrong. It's still happening, and you're still my property. And then years after that, it was like a whole society of people. Because they own the same people for generations. And so they have kids, and then they own the kids, and then they have kids, and they own those kids. A few generations in, these people being property, they can't speak English anymore. And then whenever they fucking get blown up at the end, the young guy is just thinking, no one knows the value of property anymore. We bought them at pre-slavery prices, or whatever. That he thinks something like that. Sir. Oh my god. Horrifying. It reminded me of the movie Get Out, but worse. It's like Get Out, but worse. It's like Get Out, but worse. Way worse. Oh my god, it's a horror movie. It's a horror story. Yeah, as soon as he met that rich kid on the train, I was scared. Rightly so, and it went in the direction that I saw in my head as soon as he met that rich kid on the train. The worst way it could possibly go. I think everyone should read it. I think you should read Diamond as Big as the Ritz. It's only like 30 pages. It's really scary. Does he date an 11-year-old in that story? Is the girl 11? Because she's the younger sister. She's the younger one. It wasn't a different time. It's not like pre-evolution. It's only 100 years ago. People were the same. People are fucking evil. Did you know? People are still evil. But I feel like it was more commonplace to just be evil. And to date 11-year-olds. And to torture generations of people as your property. Oh my god. That's like the only thing that's all I took away from that book. Maybe that's all I was supposed to take away from that book. Because they are evil people. Maybe Fitzgerald was against bigotry. Maybe he was against the mistreatment of black people. Maybe he was against slavery. Because he did make the villain the most slave owner person. It's really scary. It's really fucking scary. There's nothing scarier than a bunch of rich white people. I think that book proves it. That book proves it. I mean, that's why it reminds me of Get Out, but I feel like that's like a story that I feel like there needs to be more horror movies where someone meets a rich kid who's like, yeah, my daddy, he's like the richest man in the world. And then you go to his house, and that's where the horror movie starts. I feel like there should be more movies about that. I feel like there should be more movies about horror movies about normal people experiencing the lives of billionaires and how fucking horrible it is and scary, because they will literally murder you and not think about it. They don't care. They're billionaires. Money's worth more than people. Money is worth more than people because it's capitalism. That's literally the definition of capitalism, is money before people. Money before all. Capitalism, you worship the coin. That's the fucking society we all live in. Not to be all joker about it. Not to be all joker about it. My fucking phone's gonna die. There's more I could say about these fucking books. But yeah. Do I look weird? I feel like my teeth look weird because of the light shining. I don't know why that makes my teeth look weird. I don't know why that makes my teeth look weird. I'm covering the light. I don't know why it made it blurry. Hang on. It's not weird. It's like they look yellow or something, but they're not. I try very hard to make sure they're not yellow, but they look yellow in this fucking lighting. It's fucking killing me. It's fucking killing me. Miley was sick yesterday, or for like the last 3 days, and I thought she was dying, but we took her to the vet, and she's not dying. She's fine. They had to express her anal glands, which was something that's always worried me because she's a small dog, and I know small dogs have that problem where that can literally kill them from the pain. And it was something that I heard some people do themselves at home. You just get a rubber glove, you stick your finger in there. I'm really glad we took her to the vet and the vet did that, because now it means I never have to think about doing it. And it was £90 for a vet visit, for the vet to do that. Worth it, I think, because my dog's no longer in pain, and I bought her wet dog food, and I bought her a bunch of treats, and she's living large. Second thing, I don't know, there's no list here. The movie Office Space. Okay, the movie Office Space. I watched it 3 times. The first time I watched it, I was in high school. It was on the TV. It was like a really stressful time in my life where I was uncontrollably crying, and I was paranoid that everyone was trying to kill me, and I was paranoid that like life was a simulation. I was having my schizophrenic breakdown in high school, and the movie Office Space was on TV, and I saw it, and I started just uncontrollably crying because of, I don't know, like the freedom of it all, but it's like, well, you're in high school, you feel as oppressed as the main character. Watching it a second time, also he felt as removed from reality as I did at the time, because he watches that, he goes to the hypnotist and the hypnotist dies in front of him, and it's like a life-changing experience for him where he just has no worries anymore. And his life gets better because he realizes it's what's fucking pointless, right? His fucking job, his office job. Watching it for a third time, I think he's the problem. I think he has the perfect job ever. It's so comfortable. He makes enough money to live on his own in a fucking apartment and have a car and food and alcohol and clothes and social life. He sits at a cubicle all day. He doesn't even work. He sits down and he spaces out. He said he does 12 minutes of work per week, actual work. That's the perfect fucking job, and he's the problem because he just isn't in the right fucking headspace. Of course he can't appreciate it because his mind is like somewhere else. He's not the type of person who should be in that role. I'm the type of person who should be in that role. I should have that fucking office job. I want that office job where I sit there, I don't do anything, you just space out. He doesn't like spacing out, I get it, I do. I would love to sit in front of a computer, stare at the fucking wall all day. Are you kidding me? He's the problem. And at the end, he gets what he wants. He gets a fucking construction job where he works with his hands, and that's perfect for him. That's perfect for him. But he literally has the perfect job in that movie. And the movie tries so hard to convince us that it's the worst. Now, I'm anti-capitalist, of course. I believe in fucking socialism. But even I think he's got it good. Even I think he's got it good. And from his perspective, it is the worst. But he could just say something. He could just say something to those fucking people who annoy him. Also, his friends are the worst. Every time anyone in the movie talks to him and his friends, they do nothing but insult them and be mean to them. Oh, this guy has a bad idea, so we're just gonna fucking... They just look at everyone like they're fucking scum. And they go home and they fucking... He brings his friends into his fucking criminal scheme. Because he's in the wrong, right? Because he wants revenge on this job that he got. He's working there, and he's such a fucking problem with it that he's gonna fucking become a criminal and steal from them money because he feels like he deserves to steal from them. He deserves it more than the company does because the company is evil. The business is evil. So he like fucking pulls his friends into this scheme just to fucking steal money from the company. Just quit. Just fucking quit your job and get the fucking construction work job. What the fuck are you doing? And his friends fucking they fucking hate him at the end because he fucking lied to them about the prison sentence they would get. He lied to them about the fucking extent of like what they're fucking doing, and he gets mad at his friend whenever the code they're using doesn't work. Watching it a third time, I realize he's the problem. And maybe he should just fucking quit his job. It's a good movie though. It's a really good movie. It's a really fucking good movie. If you hate your job, it's a good fucking movie. But he's not a good guy. The best part of the movie is him being, like that montage after he watches that guy die in front of him, and the romance between him and Jennifer Aniston is the cutest fucking thing ever. She's really good in that movie. I think I talked enough. Also, maybe it's just like times have changed, and maybe in the 2000s and then in the 90s that was a horrible job, but we're in a worse time now. I know earlier I said all times are the same, but I meant in terms of like socially, all times are the same. But monetarily, no, they're not. Because if someone came up to me and said someone has a case of the Mondays, I would just fucking laugh in their face. I find that shit like so mundane. It's funny, and he obviously finds it so mundane. It's annoying. I understand that, but I'm different, and I find that shit really fucking funny. Someone has a case of the Mondays. I wish, and I wish I had his fucking job. Because he's not working in a grocery store. He's not dealing with customers. He's not fucking working in a restaurant. You know, he's sitting at his little computer desk. His fucking cubicle, his private cubicle, and he's spacing out all day. And then he goes to his friends, hey, want to go to lunch early? And they go to they just leave work and they go to a restaurant and they get drinks. You're really suffering, dude. You're really fucking suffering. I'm sorry.